Fanatec has had quite a big announcement yesterday showing the roadmap for the foreseeable future in the next few months, where they show a few of the items that will be released. Some of them we knew, some of them were actually released yesterday. Some of them we didn't know about, but also they done something quite interesting, which is free stuff. We'll talk about the free updates for the wheelbases, and that's for me one of the most important things they actually have announced, because it really puts them back more or less within the competition. But anyways, if you want to pick any of this stuff up, there will be links in the description. I have an affiliate link with Fanatec, and as always, my opinions are my own. You can have a look at the announcement they've made. The review is already up of the Formula V3. In reality, of all of the announcements they made, the Formula V3 for me is the weakest link of it all, because it is a wheel that we have seen in the past. It does come with small updates, namely this new screen. It comes with much better rotator shift over here, the thumb encoders, much better weighted. They have a button as well. The shifters, or rather the switches at the center, they are better, even though the caps could be better. The quality control of this wheel could be better, but the wheel is incredibly light. And that means if you have a wheelbase from Fanatec that is lower in terms of torque, like a CSL DD 8 meter, something like that, if you use this instead of, well, not going to say instead of a McLaren wheel, but if you use this instead of a heavier wheel, this will increase the force feedback quality of your wheelbase. It's just physics, but it is a wheel that kind of feels a little bit boring, because as they admit, this is a legacy product that they updated, but it's still very much close to their ecosystem. And I wish that in the future they could release something like this, like a new Formula V, whatever, that would be possible to use in other wheelbases with actually a color screen or something like that, SimHub compatible backlighting, and has a bit of a refreshed look. I think that would be something interesting, that the price would be decent. The price of this isn't really that bad. After all, it's still Fanatec. It's around 350 euros, more or less in between the KS and the Conspit 300 GT. But if they could use it on other wheelbases, that would be quite interesting for everybody, because a lighter wheel means physics, means better force feedback. It's just physics once again. Next up, they actually announced something quite interesting. I've just received this in the mail, the Fanatec Wheel Hub. This is essentially the emulator, where it allows to unlock the force feedback and allows you to use, without breaking the bank and without paying for that Podium hub, allows you to use wheels from other brands. I'll be doing a test on this very soon, and it will allow you to use wheels like GSI. I'll be mounting a GSI wheel in this. I can tell you from the get-go, the quality is actually pretty good. Fanatec quick releases are very good quality, namely the metal ones feel very good. The front adapter is of the same type of metal, so I'm not expecting any issues at all. Why should you? It's very similar to whatever is already in the market. Fanatec just made it their own, but there's for me, a huge advantage, which is this adapter over here has the medium for 6x70 and 6x50.8. That means that the adapter that normally is bought separately in another brands, if you want to use a 50.8 wheel, it comes in the box. So that is for me a huge advantage. That means if you want to use wheels, you probably just need to get an extender. Certain wheels require an extender because they're quite fiddly between the shifters. What everybody was expecting, though, as a new product release was definitely, but most definitely, the Podium pedals. Those pedals have been teased and over teased for so long, and finally they are coming out. They are available for pre-order right now. They're still not units for review at the moment. Maybe soon we're going to have them. And the prices aren't really that bad for the quality they've shown. They will be, for the 3 pedals, that will be 700 euros, which is kind of competitive to whatever it is out there for that quality level that they want to bring at the Podium level. They'll be cheaper than the Hoisting Valve Ultimates. They'll be cheaper than the pedals that I use at the moment, which are the IMSIM Talentos. They'll be more expensive than Sprints, but I would believe these have more customization than the Sprints. So they won't be like in the price brackets that are completely out there. I would expect these pedals to be really good because they have a lot of customization, and in terms of builds, they seem to be built to last, which is something great. Now, there will also be going to be a 2-pedal version for it, a formula version of it, and the price for 2 pedals in that case, because it's going to be full carbon, will still be 699, 700 euros. It's interesting. It's an interesting proposal. I'm not sure how viable or how many they're going to sell of those ones. I think most people will go for the 3-pedal version because it's the same price, and in reality, in terms of performance, won't be that different. Though it offers cups for your feet, so it will be a little bit different. Maybe some people will actually have value out of them. Those pedals, the 2-pedal version, will be released later on because they're having some issues trying to get the construction ready and in quality, so they don't have any sort of quality control issues when they come to you. However, the biggest announcement for me of this video are what's going to be done to the ClubSport line. They are going to receive a free update firmware only, so that means everybody that is going to buy them or everybody that already has this wheelbase, this will start next week, I believe, will receive a free bump in torque. The ClubSport DD, which is currently rated at 12 Newton meters sustained, will be updated to 15 Newton meters sustained, and the ClubSport DD Plus will be updated from 15 to 18 Newton meters sustained. It's not peak, it's sustained torque. That means you can run the 18 or the 15 Newton meters until the wheel puffs out, and I don't believe that wheelbase will actually care if you're using at 15, because I never had issues with heating in that wheelbase, even if you use at maximum. It is a quite interesting deal for those of you who already are in ecosystem, but for those of you who want to buy a wheelbase that is PC but also PlayStation compatible, well, that is quite interesting because it's an 18 Newton meter wheelbase at $799 with PlayStation compatibility. In my opinion, that makes it quite a great deal. This torque upgrade allied to the fact that Fanatec has dropped the prices in the last few months of the wheelbases on the ClubSport level. The ClubSport is $599. Now there's a discount for $560 or something like that. And the ClubSport DD is $799, and it's running at $750 right at the moment for a limited time, of course. Puts them more or less in the competition of price versus performance. Some bases are cheaper, some are more expensive, but it's more or less on the average. Modza is cheaper, Asetec is more or less the same price, SimiCube is more expensive, and then you have VRS, you have Cons, but they're more or less are in the same region. Though Fanatec, for me, has 2 big things going for it. The first one is that it has console compatibility. The ClubSport DD is Xbox compatible if you use it with the correct steering wheel, and the ClubSport DD Plus, it is PlayStation compatible as well. So that means you have an 18 Newton meter wheelbase, which in reality, I've used it for so long and I wouldn't have a problem continue running that wheelbase. The force feedback is so good. For 18 meters at $799, it's actually a pretty good deal. The last point is also a major one, and it's coming for free for those of you who already are in the ecosystem with Fanatec, and for those of you who have the CSLDD and the GTDD Pro. Doesn't matter if it's 5 Newton meters or 8 Newton meters. You're going to have FullForce for free, which is excellent. FullForce, just like TrueForce, when it came out, it makes the wheelbase run so much more vivid without becoming overbearing. Of course, you do need to tune these things. And the extra details, I enjoy it a lot. FullForce makes the force feedback so much more richer, bringing some details that sometimes are left out because the game signal dampens a little bit too much what is going on. It helps a lot, for example, in TrueForce with Assetto Corsa Competizione. It made it so much more interesting to drive. And hopefully with FullForce coming into more bases, we'll have better quality force feedback. Even if the game dampens too much, the information comes out there. iRacing is compatible with it. Le Mans Ultimate is having some issues with it. Assetto Corsa Competizione has it. Assetto Corsa Evo has it as well, and actually makes the force feedback quite more interesting in my opinion. And of course, for those of you who are on the PlayStation using the GTDD Pro, you're going to get a bump in quality and, of course, feedback as well, which is for me very, very positive. Finally, it's not just people that are using TrueForce, which does an excellent force feedback when you have it activated, that will have it. It's more everybody else that now that has also entry-level wheels. You don't need to get the ClubSport or a Podium. Now the CSL levels are actually going to get a little bit of an increase of force feedback quality as well. In some of the announcement is quite interesting. There's mixed bag. I think it's more on the positive. The mixed bag is definitely this. The community wants to see more. They want to see things that are a little more varied. I think this design needs definitely refresh, and Fanatec needs to update their line to have more technology that is open to everybody, and also other steering wheels, because their line is getting quite dated. But in terms of everything else, this hub was quite interesting. The Podium pedals were very, very interesting, and definitely the free bumps of quality and torque available for free were quite interesting. Even though it wasn't the strongest update in terms of products, it feels like that there is something changing in Fanatec. They are trying to really get back on track, and hopefully in the future we'll have announcements of this caliber and even better. Let me know in the comments what you think about the announcements, but especially about the free stuff, namely the torque bumps and FullForce coming to all Fanatec steering wheels.